Alright guys, Rich here from the RC Network, and this is going to be episode 2 in my upgrade series for my Hot Bodies D413 1/10 scale 4-wheel drive buggy. Now in episode 1 we went ahead and covered some Avid RC upgrades, adding that cool anodized chassis and also the floating servo mount. Now episode 2 we're going to go ahead and cover some Exotek upgrades. Now if you haven't heard of Exotek before, cool company down in Oceanside, California, and they are true racers at heart. They have in mind not only the consumer that's going to use it, but also the buggy or car that it's going onto. So they are very cool with either aluminum or carbon fiber to not only enhance your vehicle, improve the characteristics, but also the performance, and also fix issues that they may have seen in their own rigs. So in this video, I'm going to go ahead and show some of these parts, and towards the end, I'm going to show you these things installed on the vehicle. So the first thing I picked up was this Exotek steering rack. This thing is anodized aluminum in my favorite color of orange for Hot Bodies, and this thing's pretty cool here. Comes with all the included hardware. It comes with all ball bearing inserts, and this should hopefully improve some of the steering slop that we have on the D413. So pretty much all the hardware. We got some the bearings inside there, a couple of spacers and whatnot, instructions which are definitely appreciated, and of course the great orange color. So this should be a great improvement. I can't wait to get this installed and really see what the difference is. So hopefully this will make a huge difference on the D413. Next thing here, this is just kind of like a pet peeve item. These are clamping rear hexes. So if you guys have a D413, you know that you can lose pins very easily because they're not locked in. They're just kind of in there. I have actually held mine in with some black grease for right now. But these are going to be clamping hexes with included pins, orange. There's not going to be any offset benefit. Same offset as the stock, and they only are available in the rear section so far. The front ones, not yet, and I don't know that we're actually going to see that because they're somewhat unique because the hex rides before the pin. So a little bit of a unique design. Next thing here, this is the center diff cap. I wanted to pick this up because I am running that aluminum chassis from Avid. This should hopefully kind of stiffen everything up. The stock one is carbon, this one is aluminum. Of course, that great orange color includes all the hardware. Should be a pretty easy install. And last thing here, this is another kind of plagued item on the D413, is that spur gear. So this is going to be an aluminum plate with an additional gear plate that you can mount to it. It is available in two different spur gear tooth counts. I picked up the stock ratio, and right here you'll see that we have the aluminum, great little badging right there with the Exotek, and then the plastic spur gets mounted to it. So there's going to be less distortion of the all plastic spur gear, and if you guys have a D413, you definitely know the problem with that spur gear because it's kind of sunk into that center diff. So hopefully this should be a great improvement and give you some tunability of adding a lower tooth count spur gear in the future. So anyways, I'm going to get busy installing these items, and I'll be back to show you how it looks on the vehicle. Alright, I'm back now, and I went ahead and got all of those Exotek upgrades installed on my D413. Now I've got to say that the Exotek parts were actually even more complicated than doing a complete chassis replacement. So keep that in mind, especially with the center diff and also the steering rack. It's quite a bit of wrench turning to get those items installed, but in the end, well worth the upgrade from Exotek. So the first thing here, and this was probably the easiest install, were the 12mm clamping hexes in the rear. Those things just went on super easy, and in the end turned out great. So should have no more lost pins, and they should work out pretty good. Next thing here that was fairly easy, of course, was the diff cover, the aluminum diff cover, but I did the diff first, so there was quite a bit of install required to replace that spur gear on my center. So lots of parts were replaced, but in the end, that nice aluminum spur mount right there that you can kind of see the Exotek logo on turned out quite nice, and super nice detail, part fitment, and everything on that Exotek center spur gear. So I can't wait to test this thing out and see if there's any difference between this and the stock one. Lastly, the actual steering rack. What a great piece right here. I mean, this is the must-needed upgrade for any D413 owner. You're riding on ball bearings on all four corners, and very nice install instructions as well with this. There is a shim that needs to be installed underneath the rack, so I did follow those directions to the T, and hopefully this will be a great improvement. I noticed already that there's almost no slop, and it's super smooth. So just from you know, feeling it here in the shop and testing it out. So, well, guys, that is it. Really quick, wanted to show you guys the instructions that came with it, which these days there's not much for instructions, but Exotek has done a great job of giving us some pretty good detailed instructions. Also a little picture right there to show us exactly how it's installed. Very nice. Also with the spur gear, they give you almost like a schematic right here of how to install that thing. Very nice. Well, guys, that's it for now. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this portion of the upgrade series. There's still one more episode, so stay tuned for that. That'll be coming up here in the next week or so. Just waiting on some parts to come in from Hot Bodies. So, well, that's it, guys. If you have any comments or questions, please post them on down below. And as always, thumbs up and subscribe. That's it for now, guys. Over and out.